So here she is then in all of her beauty, our Citabria. We're at Goodwood today. We're going to be moving her to a little place in Kent, her final resting place. Here we are then inside. Oh, we've got a little note here. What does this say? Hello, I was once an owner. Good to see it flying again. That's nice, isn't it? It's been sat in the hangar at Goodwood, and clearly someone who used to own this recognised it. I got the controls locked with the seatbelt just here, so I'm going to remove that. Sit that seatbelt nicely up on the seat here. First thing to do, as usual, is our full and free. So I'm going to move this forwards and backwards. And you see the elevators moving just there. As well as left and right. And we check the ailerons move up there in the correct sense as well. I've got all of my bits down here that I'm going to load in. Aircraft documents in a fireproof case. All of my radios and avionics, as well as my flying bag. I've bought my fully comprehensive flying bag here because there's no knowing what I'm going to need on this trip. Got all my bits unpacked now. Here's the aircraft POH and some operating notes. Obviously I know how to fly the plane, but it's always good just to have some reference material to hand. Got a chart, got some basic headings I'm going to fly as well, but I've also got the use of Sky Demon headset, as well as my license. Also phone, which is what's going to be running my Sky Demon there. In this little box of tricks, we've got the radio that I'm going to be using today. Because if you have a look at the instrument panel here, there's no radio fitted. So instead, what I've got, I borrowed this from a friend. This is a little handheld radio, 8.33. There's also a little DIY push to talk button that he's mocked up for me there, as well as an actual intercom box, which I'm not sure I'll be using this one today because it's just me in the aircraft. Righty-ho then, so the intercom system's all set up. Got my charts, got my handbook there, got all the cameras mounted and ready to go. And we've secured the baggage in the back. All that's left to do is the walk around. Got this little intercom box down here which I'm going to keep to hand until I'm completely confident that this is working. And now we come out to do the actual full walk around in the aircraft. So first thing I'm doing is looking down here at the undercarriage, making sure there's no damage, no cracks, no corrosion. All the bolts are in place. And we've got nothing that's going to damage this undercarriage. Got no cracking or any problems around here. Small crack in the paintwork there, but it's just superficial. Make sure the tyres are inflated, brakes are all good. Have a look at the overall condition of our spat. Make sure there's no problems there. Coming to our strut then, we've got a locking pin in place. Working the way up the strut, giving it a wiggle, making sure that it's not loose, but it's nice and secure. Here we've got a fairing. All these screws are nicely in place. The underside as well. Looking at the top surface of the wing as I move back, as well as the aileron both above and below. Make sure there's no obstructions in the actual hinge system there. Coming around to the wingtip, there's a little bit of superficial damage but nothing structural, and the nav light is secure. The leading edge now, no obvious marks or scratches or indentations. And then just another brief look at the underside of the wing to make sure there's no trouble. Got our pitot head here, nice and simple. Going around to the front side of the aircraft, got no trouble, the cowling looks good, windscreen's nice and clean, the prop has no nicks, no problems, spinner's nice and secure, all of its screws are in place, all of these screws are in place, nothing inside of the cowling is going to cause trouble. Landing light's secure, cowling is secure all here, Venturi tube here that powers our turn coordinator, looks good, no trouble. Coming down to this landing gear leg now. Strut looks okay, this little fairing piece looks okay as well. No cracks and all the screws are in place on this fairing. The tyre inflation looks good. The strut now, giving it a pull. Make sure we've got all of these bolts, all of these screws in place nicely. Leading edge of the wing. No problems there. The general underside of the wing looks good as well. Nothing missing, no holes. Got our wingtip over here, no trouble. Nav light as well looks good. Aileron above and below, Got no holes, no cracks, no dents, nothing along those lines. And there's nothing within the hinge that's going to cause trouble. This side of the fuselage and the windows all look okay. No trouble there. Coming around to our elevator and our tailplane above and below all looks good. Pulley systems are fine. The tail wheel looks nice and connected. Bracing wires are good. No problems with the fabric on our fin or our rudder here. This bracing wire looks nice. No holes, no trouble. Underneath, all good with the bracing wire. Going to pull out the chock. Okay, I've had a good look at the fuel. We're going to fill up with 24 litres on the left. Also had a good look at the oil. We've got probably 5.5 going on 6 quarts. The time now is 10:38, so we're well on time to be leaving as I'd anticipated, about 11 o'clock with a 30 or 40 minute flight time to Kent. Goodwood information, Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey, request taxi fuel.
Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey, Goodwood information, hello to you, your readability 5, taxi to the pumps.
To the pumps, Golf Lima Whiskey. Okay, so here we are then, sat in the aircraft. Just going to text the chap to let him know that we're coming. Marvellous, I'm about to take off from Goodwood now, so I'll be with you in about 45 minutes or so, I reckon. Brilliant, I'll see you soon. Turn on the radio. Good, that's done. Let those controls move fully and freely, which they do. Why can I now not hear myself? Oh, I should turn the intercom off. Good-o, well the controls are in a good position. You've got Sky Demon running. Fuel's on, mixture's rich, throttle is set, mags and master are on. We'll give it 2 primes.
And that's the engine started. Oil pressure's alive, mag check, all good. Good information, it's Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey at the pumps, request taxi for BFR2 Old Hay with one on board.
Sierra Lima Whiskey, good information, hello again to you, readability strength 5, lovely destination, taxi hold runway, let's make it 24, right hand circuit, KNH 1018.
2 all with the right hand circuit on 1018, Golf Lima Whiskey.
And are you back safe sir?
Negative, it's going to deliver Old Hay now.
Okay. Golf India Charlie Delta.
Okay, brakes are released.
Committed
Check
Charlie
those,
Delta,
they work.
information, hello.
Make sure we're pointing into the wind for our runner. Okay, so we're positioned into wind at 1200 RPM. T's and P's are green. Oil temperature is, just check my reference book to make sure that's in the green. Needs to be above 100, which is that first big marker there. So I'm just going to let that warm up now, 1200 RPM for a little bit. So we'll open this back window, because that should stop the rattling, but also allow a bit of airflow in as well. Take this up now to 1700 RPM, watching that oil pressure. 1700 RPM, oil pressure is green. Check out RP. There's a slight drop, that's cold, and that goes away. One mag, that's 50 RPM drop, back to both. Other mag, 50 RPM, that's 100 RPM. And that's back to both. Back to idle power, should sit between 5 and 700. Perfect. And then back up to 12. That's our power checks done. Golf Lima Whiskey is approaching 24, ready for departure.
Lima Whiskey, runway 24, take off at your discretion. The wind 0 degrees 11.
Taking off Lima Whiskey. Okay, right turn to avoid built up areas. Approach is clear, we don't have a transponder. Pitot heat's not fitted. No lights for Day VFR. Lining up here. Smoothly advancing now to full power.
Thank you, report final from runway 24, please.
Approaching now
Charlie Kilo Tango, take up an information low again to you. Runway needs 24 right hands, QFE 1014.
Bring the power back to 2300
24
RPM.
right hand, 1014.
Golf Lima Whiskey is departing to the east.
Lima Whiskey, thank you. Basic service, give me a call going en route, sir.
Okay.
Lima Whiskey, there's no other reported traffic for radar service routing eastbound. That's just Farnborough East, 123225.
123 thanks, Golf Lima Whiskey.
Have a safe flight and enjoy your new home. Say hello to Dan if you see him.
Will do, Golf Lima Whiskey, thanks a lot. Okay, so we're going to turn the radio off now. So I'm going to preserve battery. There we go, and now it's just us. Just us and the sky. Cruising along then at 1100 feet on the QNH, so we're well in compliance with our 500 foot rule, and we're going to nip around and through these towns to remain in compliance with the 1000 foot rule as well. It's a beautiful day, a little bit bumpy. I've seen one other aircraft around. We're probably approaching the halfway mark of the flight now. We're going to start to think about my Frida checks. Fuel, looking at our fuel gauge up there, it is dancing around, but I know that we have sufficient fuel. Radio is off at the moment. The next frequency is safety.com 135.480. I'll set that as we get nearer to our destination. Engine, our suction, well, we know our turn coordinator is working. Oil T's and P's are green. RP is going to come hot for 10 seconds. And ammeter is positive. Directional indicator is not fitted. Altimeter is set correctly. RP off. Maintaining a heading of about 080. That's going to check Sky Demon here as well. Says that our next waypoint, we're due there in about 9 or 10 minutes time. I begin to dial in safety.com. 135.480. Now this is the problem with some frequencies in this aircraft. There's a lot of interference. Gets another background noise to contend with. That window closed, getting a bit nippy in here. In terms of the circuit we'll be flying here, our circuit altitude is going to be at 800 feet, so 850 feet on our QNH. Got to keep a good eye out because they're microlighting. Got no more interference from our radio. How convenient. A local QNH from Gatwick 1018, which is what we've got set. So we've got the right QNH set, which is all good. Alt-A traffic, Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey 5 miles to the south, joining left base runway 28. Now we're having a good look for this microlight. Really good look, because they're difficult to see and they're small and they fly low. I think I might have him. I believe that's him now on final approach. Okay, I see him going down beneath the trees. Go around this town here, make sure, all these little farm strips, it's just a good idea to make sure you don't fly over people's houses, towns, it just causes upset with the locals. Now I've seen the microlight, but we're not neglecting to look out for other traffic at the same time, because there may be people just flying around but not actually out on the frequency. We're going to touch down at about 60 miles per hour. Alt-A traffic, Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey's left base to land, runway 28. I'm still not visual with the strip itself. I believe I might be able to see it. Or not? Or can I? I'm not sure. Over there somewhere? Alt-A traffic, Golf Bravo Sierra Lima Whiskey's left base to land, runway 28. I'm repeating these calls only because I'm still on base leg.
Turning final, 24.
Okay, 2-4, that's not us. Got a nice slipping turn as we come down into here with that carb heat hot. Now that carb heat's cold. Windsock looks to be straight down the runway. A little bit across. Okay, that's us safely on the ground. Okay, log on blocks, check those mags, fixture out.
There she is then, safely hangared in Kent. That was a great fun day of flying.